Hi there, my name's Ariana and I'm about to take you with me on one of the most iconic adventures in the world, the Everest Base Camp trek with Earth's Edge. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll be trekking through traditional Sherpa villages, crossing suspension bridges, trekking through the Khumbu Valley all the way to Everest Base Camp at 5,364 metres. I can't wait to show you the highs, the challenges and everything in between. So after a long journey from Dublin, we finally arrived in Kathmandu, where our expedition leader Arjun met the team and brought us to our hotel. So we've just checked into our hotel here in Kathmandu. It's super comfortable, the rooms are lovely, there's a pool, there's lots of nice chill out areas. I've just been repacking my bag and making sure that both bags, my day pack and my duffel, are the correct weight for the flight tomorrow. In the morning, we'll be transferring to Ramchap before then flying to Lukla. We'll then trek from Lukla to Phakting, which should take about 3 hours. Our expedition leader will be giving us a full briefing this afternoon around 3 p.m. before we rest up, chill out, eat and relax for the rest of the evening. Very, very early the next morning, we all met in the lobby with our bags, ready to catch a minibus to Ramchap, where we'd board the famous short flight to Lukla. So we are just about to board the plane to Lukla. I'm not a bad flyer, but this might change my mind after. But yeah, the whole team is ready to go, and yeah. I'm very excited. Excited and nervous.
Mark, how are you feeling about getting on the flight?
Oh, good, yeah. It's a beautiful, just the flight's beautiful.
Okay.
Like the views are great and the landing is nice.
Quite excited. I cannot wait. Just want to get started. A bit nervous now, but this is the last flight, thank God.
Woo!
And Carmel cannot wait.
Linda, we made it in one piece. After just 35 minutes in the air, we landed in Lukla at 2,860 metres, the starting point of our trek. There, we met with the rest of the Earth's Edge team in Nepal, including our head guides and porters. We enjoyed a cup of tea and a snack before beginning our trek to Phakting. I could feel myself instantly falling in love with Nepal. It's so colourful, vibrant and full of friendly people. The trail initially descends northwest towards Choblung in the picturesque Dukosi Valley. From there, we followed the Dukosi River, very aptly named the Milk River, passing through the village of Gat before reaching Phakting. We stopped for tea and a snack before continuing to our lunch spot, where we had hot lemon and a delicious fresh dal bhat with potatoes and vegetables. After lunch, we continued to our tea house in Phakting at 2,610 metres. Before doing anything else, when we got in, I treated myself to a hot shower. It cost a small fee, but felt like heaven. So I'm just having a little walk around Phakting, a little explore before dinner time. Should be having dinner in around half an hour, around 6:30. So I just thought I'd go out and have a little walk around. Quite tired after today, just with getting up so early. We were up at 1:30 to get the bus at 2 a.m. To go to Lukla, so I am looking forward to an early night. Yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow and seeing Namche Bazaar. For me, it's going to be one of the highlights of the trip. Super excited to see it and to also have an explore around there as well. Yeah, overall a really good day and super excited for tomorrow. After dinner, our leader surprised me with a beautiful cake to celebrate my 4-year anniversary working with Earth's Edge. Such a lovely way to end our first day on the trek. Day 3. After a very peaceful night's sleep, lulled by the sound of the river outside, we woke to a lovely cooked breakfast and some specialty coffee, which was absolutely gorgeous, before gearing up for the trek ahead. Today is going to be a tough enough day on the trail, but we do have the possibility of seeing Everest, Blam, Nuptse, Lhotse and a few other peaks as well, so I think that will make it all the worthwhile. I hope so. Our expedition leader Arjun briefed us every single evening on the plan for the following day, so each morning we were well prepared with the right gear and mindset. We set off along the Dukosi River, enjoying the serene surroundings. Before long, we reached the confluence of the Botakosi and Dukosi rivers and crossed a huge suspension bridge. The trail then climbed steadily through fragrant pine forests and small meadows until we reached the distinctive horseshoe-shaped village of Namche Bazaar at 3,440 metres. We took plenty of rest and water breaks and of course stopped for tea before entering the national park. Crossing the Hillary Suspension Bridge was absolutely incredible. It's even more impressive in person than in photos. For lunch, we enjoyed delicious potato and vegetable momos, which very quickly became one of my favourite dishes on the trek. It rained a small bit as we walked into Namche Bazaar, but it didn't dampen our spirits in the slightest. We wandered through the village towards our tea house near the top. From our lodge, the mountain views were breathtaking. The tea house was really warm and cosy with a lovely stove in the middle. There was also a hot shower available here for a small price. We were given hot towels before dinner to freshen up and some popcorn to snack on.
How is it?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
After dinner, we headed to bed early, ready for another big day ahead. Day 4. After marvelling at the sunrise over the Himalayas from our room window, we headed off on our acclimatisation hike above Namche Bazaar. We were truly blessed with incredible weather and great visibility. We climbed all the way to the ridge above the village, where we were rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views of the Khumbu peaks, including Everest, Nuptse and the amazing Blam. We stopped for a yummy coffee at the top of the village, which was probably the most scenic coffee I'll ever have in my life. After, we visited the Sagarmatha Next Centre, a brilliant local initiative focused on environmental conservation and waste management in the Everest region. We watched a short film about their work and the impact they're having on the community before exploring the museum. For me personally, this day was the highlight of my trip. There was a lovely little gift shop where you could buy keyrings made from recycled plastic collected in the Khumbu and even a VR Everest experience. One of my favourite parts was the art gallery, which showcased work by international artists who visited the Khumbu and created stunning pieces from rubbish found in the mountains. It was so inspiring and a really great way to relax for an hour while learning about the positive changes happening here. Afterwards, we descended back down to the village and enjoyed a delicious wood-fired pizza and chips for lunch. Such a treat after the morning's hike. Some of us stopped by a local bakery afterwards to celebrate Anne's birthday, where we had the most delicious baked treats. Good morning. So yesterday we had a really great day in Namche Bazaar. The hike was super nice, really easy going, we got really great weather. We got some really great views of Tamsurku and Amna Blam as well, which was really awesome. And yeah, we spent the rest of the afternoon and the evening just exploring Namche Bazaar and having a look around the markets. And yeah, just soaking it all in. It was really lovely. So today we'll be trekking from Namche Bazaar to Fort Say. It should take roughly around 5 hours, and hopefully we get some great views of Amna Blam on the way. It was such an absolute joy during these first few days on the trek to pass through local Nepalese villages and just watch people go about their daily lives. It really felt like a whole other world. After another delicious lunch, we began a steep descent to the Dukosi River before tackling a big climb up a narrow trail to reach the village of Fort Say at 3,950 metres. The colours of the foliage and the trees were absolutely stunning as we made our way into the village. I think I had to just stop and take it in. It was so beautiful. Once we arrived at our tea house, we settled into our rooms, then gathered around the stove to enjoy tea and biscuits before dinner later that evening. We rounded off the day with a few pretty intense games of Connect 4 before heading to bed. The perfect end to another amazing day on the trail. Good morning from the lovely Fort Say. I just got all my bags packed and we're ready to go down for breakfast. Hopefully we get to see some views of Everest today. That would be pretty awesome. Actually feeling pretty good. Got a really good night's sleep. Slept the whole night through. We're about to have some porridge and some French toast for breakfast, which I'm very excited about. We had some really delicious pizza last night. Actually some of the best pizza I've ever had. First time having cabbage on a pizza. Would try it again. It was really, really good. But yeah, looking forward to getting on the trail and seeing what views are ahead of us today. On this day, we trekked for about 6 hours from Fort Say to Fariche at 4,371 metres. We gained over 500 metres in elevation, so it was really important to take it slow and give our bodies time to acclimatise properly. As we walked above the tree line, the scenery began to change. The lush forests gave way to a more barren, rugged landscape, but it was still every bit as beautiful. Along the way, we stopped to visit the Pangboche Monastery, one of the oldest monasteries in the Khumbu region. Some of the team paid a small fee to go inside, where we had a chance to experience the peaceful atmosphere and take in the intricate artwork and colourful prayer flags. After a short break, we continued on to Fariche, where we settled into our tea house, cozied up by the stove and enjoyed a relaxing evening after another big day on the trail. Good morning, or should I say good afternoon. We're in Fariche now. It's our acclimatisation day. We were supposed to start off at 8:30 for an acclimatisation hike above Fariche village, but the weather was not very good, so we hung out until around 10:30 and then we set off for a nice, easy, slow hike. And yeah, it was good to get to that elevation. I think we got to about 4,500 metres, so sleeping should be a little bit easier this evening. about to go have some lunch. I'm going to then chill out for the rest of the evening in the tea house before we head for Le Boucher tomorrow. Day 8. We woke up to a rainy morning in Farice and waited for a little while, hoping the weather would ease before setting off for Le Boucher at 4,940 metres. Not long after we started trekking, the rain very quickly turned to snow. It was so cold. I remember not being able to feel my hands, but we powered on through. After about 3 hours, we stopped for lunch in Douglas to warm up and refuel before continuing the steady climb to Le Boucher. By the time we arrived, we all immediately gravitated towards the stove to thaw out our hands and dry our wet clothes. After dinner, we relaxed, chilled out for the rest of the evening, grateful to just be warm and dry again after such a tough, cold day on the trail. Day 9. We woke up to the heaviest snowfall I had ever seen. It was piled high outside the tea houses and locals were busy shoveling snow off the roofs. Our leader explained that heading out in those conditions would be too dangerous, not just for us but for the entire support team as well. So we made the call to stay put in Le Boucher for the day. We spent our unexpected rest day reading, playing games and simply relaxing. That's just the nature of adventure travel, really. It's just so unpredictable and sometimes you just have to go with the flow and embrace whatever comes your way. Day 10. The following day felt like a completely different world. The snow had stopped, the skies were a brilliant blue and the whole landscape looked absolutely stunning. It was like a picture-perfect postcard. After breakfast, we climbed out of the deep snow surrounding the tea house and began our trek towards Gorakshep at 5,164 metres. It was such a beautiful day. Surreal, really, being completely surrounded by towering Himalayan peaks. It was out of this world. The snow and the patches of ice made the trail a little bit tricky at times, but the breathtaking views more than made up for it. Once we reached the very busy Gorakshep, we settled in and relaxed for the evening. Some of the group made the hike up to Kalabatar for sunset, but I opted for a well-deserved rest instead. Day 11. The next morning, we set out to make our way to Everest Base Camp, but unfortunately, the snow was just too deep and we couldn't make it all the way. Even so, we were rewarded with incredible 360-degree panoramic views of some of the highest mountains in the world. And for me, that alone made the journey a huge success. I personally really struggled with the snow and the ice, so I didn't capture much footage that day, but I did manage to get some amazing photos that I'll treasure forever. That evening, we began the long trek back to Farice to make up for the snow day we'd spent in Le Boucher. By the end of the day, we were trekking in darkness, head torches on, walking through snow, ice and slush. It was a tough, tiring day, but such a memorable one all the same. Day 12. We woke up to a beautiful morning in Farice. Unfortunately, I'd suffered quite badly from snowburn on my eyes the day before, so I was under strict instructions to keep my sunglasses on and shield my face from the sun, which did make filming a little bit tricky, but we powered on nonetheless. We set off towards Tengboche at 3,860 metres, which is where we would normally stay for the night, but this time we opted to head back to Namche Bazaar instead. Along the way, we were treated to incredible views of Am Dablam, such a magnificent mountain. We stopped for a quick tea break before continuing on to Tengboche for lunch. We also had the chance to visit the Tengboche monastery, which was absolutely incredible. You weren't allowed to film inside, but trust me, it was stunning. I guess you'll just have to go there yourself to experience it. We got into Namche Bazaar just as it was getting dark and the fog was rolling in. We freshened up in the tea house before heading down to the highest Irish bar in the world to play a game of pool and chill out with the team. The next day we did a bit of shopping in Namche Bazaar before making our way back to Phakting. On the way out we had the option to pick up a carry me back bag which allows trekkers to bring waste out of the Khumbu region to be recycled. We descended the steep steps through the pine forest out of Namche Bazaar, enjoying the scenery on our way back to Phakting. That evening, after dinner, we played cards and settled in for an early night. Day 14. On our final day on the trail, we took the short trek back to Lukla where we dropped off our carry me back bags. We arrived at our tea house just as the rain started. Good timing. That afternoon we explored Lukla, stopped for a drink at the local bar, played some pool and enjoyed a big meal with the whole team. We celebrated into the night before saying goodbye to our porters and guides the following day. Day 15. We rose very early to catch our flight from Lukla to Ramchep. There were landslides in Kathmandu due to bad weather, so we took a very long bus ride back to the city. That evening we had a delicious celebratory meal in a lovely restaurant in Kathmandu. On our last day, some of us went for some last-minute souvenir shopping before getting our flight back to Doha that afternoon. What a journey! Nepal welcomed us with open arms and every moment on the trail was unforgettable. From vibrant villages and stunning views to snowy days filled with games, snacks and laughs. The small group made such a difference. Everyone was super supportive and we all really looked out for each other. I'm so grateful to our amazing team in Nepal, our porters for carrying all of our gear over the course of the trip, our guides for their care and positivity, and of course our expedition leader Arjun for keeping us safe, motivated and entertained every single step of the way. And of course Mark, our wonderful doctor, for giving us peace of mind. The Earth's Edge team in Nepal were incredible, so adaptable especially with the changing weather, and you always knew your safety came first. The landscape was so magical with the snow. Conditions like that remind you how unpredictable the mountains can be, but also how important it is to go with a team that truly knows what they're doing. This trek wasn't just about reaching Everest Base Camp, it was about the people, the experiences and the memories we made along the way, and I'll never ever forget it. Thanks so much for watching and being part of the journey. Give this video a like and subscribe to the Earth's Edge channel if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments if you've been to Everest Base Camp. Tell me what was your favourite part of the trek. Or if you're thinking about doing it and have any questions, ask away in the comments section below.